history. Incidentally, the first ocean pleasure cruise set sail from Southampton in England on the 26th of July, 1844. The famous novelist Thackeray was one of the passengers, and the cruise lasted 4 months. Meanwhile, down in the forest, something stirs.
These troops aren't doing battle for king and country, nor are they heartless mercenaries. They are in fact collectors with a special interest in military history. These enthusiasts don't believe in using artifacts from the past as ornaments of the present, nor do they accept plastic replicas. Only one thing interests them, the genuine article. The Durban Deep Historical Firearms Shooting Club boasts an impressive array of original muzzle and breech-loading rifles, all of the pre-World War I era. Prices of rifles vary from 500 rands to 5,000 rands, depending on their rarity. In South Africa, there are about 500 people who collect these antique weapons, but only 150 are active shottists. 18 of those practice here at Durban Deep.
Everybody ready? The range is safe. You have half an hour from now.
Modern automatic rifles are capable of firing thousands of rounds in half an hour. An experienced black powder marksman has to work quickly to loose off 13 rounds in the same time. The rifles are expensive, scarce, and difficult to maintain, so what is the appeal?
I enjoy shooting these old-fashioned guns because they're the spirit of the past. The spirit of the past brought to the present day. It's a style of shooting that hasn't really stopped in 100 years. It's just that we've working hard to resurrect it, and we've resurrected it well.
Numbers of participants in this sport are growing rapidly, and every Sunday the club has a friendly practice session. For the more serious competitor, there are inter-provincial championships held every year, and this year a South African team will travel to England to compete with the British national side. These guns discharge a heavy, low-velocity bullet, and even slight variables like the wind and your own pulse rate can nudge the bullet off course. But for many, this seems more of an attraction than a hindrance.
My friends think I'm very mad about doing this sport, but because most of them are shooting modern guns, and I'm shooting these old guns. But they don't realize there's more skill involved in shooting modern, old guns than shooting in modern guns.
It can be a very competitive sport. It can also be great fun. But if you want to work at it seriously, then it can be very competitive, and it's a lot of hard work.
It also requires a lot of strength, as these rifles can weigh up to 6 kilograms and have a shoulder-wrenching kick. Knowledge of mathematics and chemistry also come in handy. Paul showed us how the pros do it.
I pour in a pre-measured powder charge. Next, I put in a spit lubricated wad. Ram that all the way down on top of the powder charge. Next, take my bullet, put the bullet into the barrel, and the weight of the ramrod should just take the bullet to the top of the powder. I now put on my percussion cap on top of my nipple, and now I'm ready to shoot.
I shot rifles and cartridges and handguns, you know. But the black powder shooting now on muzzle, especially the muzzle loader shoot, is the most challenging shoot, and that's why I enjoy it so much,
Between the shooter and the gun, there's got to be a greater rapport. So with the modern guns, you don't get that. All the work that you put into actually shooting, making your bullets, weighing out your powder, how you clean the gun is important. Everything with these old guns is very important, and it brings you closer to the sport in a way. You become much more involved and much more personal about the whole thing.
These rifles no longer see active service, and the troops who used them originally can only be found in history books. But this club's dedication will ensure that their memory and spirit will remain with us forever.
Fire!
You can always be sure that when gun enthusiasts get together, things go with a bang.